Alright guys, good morning. We are now on our fourth day of the sailing trip in the Adriatic with Orvis Yachting. We've been here in the Lastovo island chain for this is the third day. We just spent our second night here. So I know I haven't uploaded any videos about this, but maybe you've been following Marlene's Instagram stories, which she's putting up every day. But what I want to do today for you guys, though, is a little fly around with the drone. It's kind of bright and sunny, so the lighting is not the best for really cinematic shots and epic views. Well, maybe it will be. Anyways, I'm gonna fly this up. I'm gonna start recording. Let's see. I'm going to change the setting of this recording so it matches what I'm recording on the phone. Okay, I'll start this video recording, and so I'll be able to overlay into all this stuff. Anyways, while I fly and show you guys around, we're on the west side of the island. I'm going to take off really quick. Here we go. And there she goes. This is Lastovo Archipelago, which is a nature park that was made, I think 2006, 2007, something like that. And we're on the west side, and we stayed 2 nights ago on the west side as well. But yesterday we did circumnavigate the entire island. I'll give you guys a look to see where we're at exactly as the drone flies away, looks down. That's us. That's where we're currently anchored. And I'm getting a little bit of swell because a huge boat just drove past. I'll show you what that huge boat is. There's that huge boat right there. Maybe we'll go chase it a little bit. See if that's possible. Alright. This is actually not even the hugest boat we've seen here. We saw a really huge, massive 116 meter boat that came right next to us like 2 days ago. The first day we got here. Or maybe it was the second day. I forget. But it was massive. It was the Ulysses super yacht from Georgetown out of the United Kingdom. So this boat, I believe, was there on the other side yesterday too, but not as big. I don't know if you can tell, but he's pretty big. But he's leaving today. Okay, well, let me turn around to show you what this looks like. This is our little cove that we're in, and it's one of the safer, easiest, most secure coves on this island chain. As we drove around yesterday, we saw that there are like 3 or 4 mooring fields, and one of the unique things that we noticed about this island chain is that it's way out in the middle of the Adriatic. From here, we kind of form like a triangle. It's the same distance for us to go from here to Split as it is to Dubrovnik, and also same distance to go across the Adriatic to Italy, where you would end up like what's referred to as the spur of the boot, which is like a national park. It's like a little peninsula that sticks out the east side of Italy that forms Gargano National Park, I believe. Okay, so if you look at the center, I'll tilt up a little bit. Right there in the center. Okay, first you see on the left here, there's that island down there. Okay, and there's a mooring field right by there. To the right of that, a little bit above, there's that cove. That's where we were last night. And this is looking south. And then this is looking west. There are 46 islands here altogether. So we went all the way around the south side of the island, circumnavigated to the other side, and then went around the east end. There's some small islands that are kind of, you can kind of see it here off in the distance. Little islands. Doesn't like it that I'm flying so far, but I'm flying. There's nobody here. This is 792 people live here permanently on the island, but this year being, you know, a worldwide pandemic year, there's very few tourists. I think normally this time of year, this island or these islands may be really, really busy, but this year is obviously an exception. So let me fly over here. These two islands, the one that we're tied to, so I'm anchored over here and then tied to a tree over there. This is Preshba, I think, the island. It's the second biggest island of the 46, and then the one just over here on the other side of us is the main Lastovo island. It's the biggest island. That's where most of the people live in the village or in the town of Lastovo. It's probably a village. It's probably just a couple hundred people that live in there. And then here is kind of a touristy place. We could tell when we were here yesterday. We took a dinghy from where we anchored the night before, and then went all the way here. You can see in the center there's a small bridge. That small bridge connects the two biggest islands together, and you can't take a sailboat through that. So in order for us to come on this side, we would have to go around either way. But going around the west side would have been much faster, but we would have saw less of the island. So we came around the long way. I'll pan over here and show you some more of these little islands and just how empty it is over here, how deserted it is. And maybe I'll fly down a little bit low and give you guys a look of... Thank you, Marlene just brought me coffee. Actually, she brought herself coffee.
You want coffee?
Sure.
Okay.
Marlene made coffee. I wanted to get this drone up there and fly for a bit because we are leaving today. Because it took us 2 days to get out here, and then we spent 2 nights here, and we can only be out here we only have the boat for 7 days. I didn't want to spend another night here because that means we'll have to kind of zoom straight back. So we have 3 days to go back to Split, and I wanted to give us, maybe one more night on the island of Korčula, which is between here and the island of Hvar. So it goes like this: when you leave Split, you leave the city of Split, you leave the harbor, you go between the islands of Brač and Šolta, and then once you get through that, what's ahead of you is the island of Hvar, which is where Marlene's dad is from. And then you go past the island of Hvar, you'll see the island of Korčula. And then you go past the island of Korčula, then you have this island chain, Lastovo, right here. Okay, so flying back to the boat where we're at. This is what our anchorage looks like. I'm going to do maybe a close-ish kind of orbit. Look how clear that water is. Really clear water. There's some little fish. We've not seen... There's sea cucumbers, but we're not seeing very many other types of sea life besides fish and sea cucumbers and, your normal stuff. There's supposed to be seahorses here, but, we've not seen them, unfortunately. Okay, so to do orbit, I go right above the boat or whatever object I want to orbit. I go point of interest. Okay, altitude, hit apply, and then I determine my radius of my orbit. I can also drop my altitude if I want. So I'm just going to do a 90-foot orbit. Well, actually, maybe a little longer. As long as I don't hit a tree. And I hit start. Okay. And even during my orbit, I can change the speed. I can say, go 7 miles an hour for my orbit. I'm not going to hit a tree. I don't believe. So there she is. She's orbiting our anchorage. About 100 feet up. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay. Still good, still good. Yeah, so last night we were the only people here. There were a couple of people, a couple of boats here late in the afternoon, like around dinner time, but then they left. I don't know why they left. Maybe they don't like anchoring, they just want to come here and swim. But there's water. I mean, look at this water. This water is amazing. It's not, you know, all ideal. There's a good amount of bees late in the day, and there are little midges that bite, and we also had mosquitoes. So it's not as bad as it has been in the past when we've been here in like July and August, but we've never been here in the end of June. But today is July 1st, so it's gonna get hotter, and I think the mosquitoes gonna get worse. But last night was not so bad. I've definitely gotten way more mosquitoes in Croatia in other years that we've come, and obviously in other places too. But that's it. I wanted to give you guys this view of our anchorage that we're at on the island chain of Lastovo Nature Park, Lastovo Archipelago, way out in the middle of the Adriatic. Perfect week for us to be here. I mean, in the afternoon we get a little bit of wind, maybe like 10 to 12 knots of wind, but other than that, we the weather is just warm, sunny, perfect for swimming, which is what the kids want to do. So we chose this week specifically for that. And okay, I think I'm gonna end this orbit. Confirm. I'm at 27%. I should fly back before it starts yelling at me. You can see we're tied to shore here with a really long line. I recently changed my low battery alarm from... Oh no. Don't come to the home point. I'll fly back myself. I usually have the battery alarm set at the factory default, which is 30%, but I change it to 20% because I'd rather fly back. Because the second it goes into low battery mode, it starts beeping. You can't turn it off. So I'd rather just fly back myself. Here we are. Land. We've landed. All right. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you guys for supporting us on Patreon, watching our videos, and doing all that stuff. I hope this was a fun little look for you on our sailing trip. We are leaving today. We'll probably leave after we eat breakfast and set up a little bit, but go to our Instagram if you want to see more videos and more photos, and I'm gonna try to maybe do one more of these before we get back to Split. So, oh yeah, we have a couple of new patrons. Thank you guys for supporting us on Patreon. That really helps. So, and I'll try to keep more of these videos coming as much as I can. All right, guys, have a good one. Hope everybody's safe and healthy.